Here's exactly how I manage my money as a woman in her 30s, including how I save, invest, and spend without feeling guilty. I started working in my 20s, and of course, back then, my salary was not enough. But to other people, it probably was. I was able to buy a car during that time. But my money management was really, really horrible. I was not saving. I didn't know I can actually save even $50 a month. It's small, but all these things adds up. And to say that I didn't know is so embarrassing because I am a CPA, I'm an accountant, so I'm supposed to know these things. I knew them in paper, but I didn't know how to put them into practice. I had a lot of debts. I had credit card debt, which I should have been paying every month, but I didn't. So my debt just accumulated. It gave me a bad credit record, which didn't help me in the future, of course. And at the time, when I started actually focusing on saving, trying to grow up, I focused more on paying off all my debts, my credit card. And I know people say pay off your debt, which is good, but at the same time, you need to remember to pay yourself first as well. You need to start saving, even if it's little. Say you pay in your credit card $200 per month, at least save $100 for yourself. Pay yourself. That will make you feel good. And when you're paying yourself and you go and look into your banking apps, you realize that, you know what, I'm actually not doing that bad. Like, yes, I have this debt, but I'm not doing that bad. So that's what I had to learn in my 20s. And now in my 30s, I've been using all the resources that I have. I use YouTube to figure out how I can structure my debt payment. There's a lot of resources out there on what debt you should first start with and how you can actually structure that debt payment, i.e. automatically paying it, or maybe working out a payment plan with the bank or something like that. But there's a lot of resources. So you have YouTube, you also have ChatGPT. Let me tell you, if you are not using ChatGPT, or if you're not using any AIs, you're behind. Okay, so in my 30s, I am using ChatGPT. I'm using all the resources I have just to manage my finances. For example, I was trying to buy a share of a stock called Arthur Gallagher, but the share price of that stock is $3.29. And I thought to myself, I like this, but I don't actually have the money based on how much I'm investing every month. My budget is literally $200. So I then went to ChatGPT and asked ChatGPT, is there a way for me to get these shares without actually paying $3.29? Because my budget is only $200 every month. And that's when ChatGPT introduced me to fractional shares and introduced me to fractional shares at Charles Schwab, which is who I invest with. I was blown away because I didn't know this. And I thought to myself, we need to use technology more often. There's information out there and ChatGPT makes it so easy, okay? So let me be clear. I knew about being able to buy fractional shares of certain things like Bitcoin because, back then Bitcoin was expensive. We couldn't afford it, and I learned that you can actually buy a fractional share of a Bitcoin, especially when it was around, I think, $25,000 US, which was a lot. Most of us couldn't afford it. So I learned about being able to buy a fractional of Bitcoin back then. But I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know that you can do that for regular shares, especially because some of the shares are so cheap. I mean, Nvidia right now is $98 at the time of this recording. So it's one of those where you like, even when something is cheap, it might not be cheap enough for other people, but there's also always a way for those people to be able to get it. To sum it all up, my money habits have changed in that I'm actually more intentional now, and I seek out resources. I don't just sit there and do nothing. I seek out the resources of what it is that I want to do. I know most of you are probably wondering what my source of income is, and just like most people, I also get a salary. So that's where I get my income, and then I also get interest and dividend from my investments. I invest a lot in mutual funds, which is automatic. It's done by an investment manager, so definitely try that. That's literally passive income. I also get money from my day trading. I day trade every morning just before work, it's a good time to just focus on myself before the distraction. I also started buying rental property, so I'll be getting rental income from that. And I started learning about drop shipping as well. If you're sleeping on drop shipping, you better wake up. It is a lot of work, but again, it's about you making your money. You're probably wondering, where do I spend my money? Firstly, my money goes towards my savings. I have to save for the properties that I'm trying to buy, and I also save for an emergency fund. In case something happens, I need to have something to hold me. It also goes towards my investment. I have automatic stop orders towards my mutual funds and my fractional shares. It's small, but listen, it actually accumulates. I've been doing this for years and I haven't stopped the debit orders or stop orders in this case. So just do it. Lastly, it goes towards my self-living. I actually have to save to travel. I live in a foreign country, so when I have to go back home, I need money for that. So I save towards my travels and I save towards my luxury bag. The monthly mindset I use to manage my money is firstly journaling. I use journaling to write down what I actually like, reflect on what I've done and what I still need to do. I visualize. I like to visualize what I like, what I desire in my life. From the visualization, I'm able to identify the things that I like and the things that I need to do, which then turns into me taking inspired action. So if, for example, I'm visualizing owning Bitcoin, for example, I will then take inspired action of finding a platform that I can use to buy Bitcoin, trying to see if I can set up monthly debit orders to be able to make sure that what I desire actually goes into practice. I've heard a lot of people who delay things or make excuses by saying, oh, I want to invest in this, but I can't start now because I only get paid at month end. And then I'm like, but no, you can actually take inspired action now by going to your banking app, setting up that debit order to be done after a month end. That is what you call an inspired action. I think most of us have a tendency to just wait and be like, I will do it when. What if that when never comes? You have your now. So do whatever you want right now. If you enjoyed this video and would like to know more about how to manage your money, like, subscribe, and leave a comment below.